So I chose to do my storylines presentation on someone that means a lot to me and someone that I personally believe is the strongest, most independent, and definitely the most stubborn woman that I know in my life. And I'm going to refer to her as Mrs. L. Mrs. L was born April 19th in 1944, making her 75 years young. She grew up here in East Tennessee to a single mother, and they didn't really have a lot financially. They did the best that they could to make ends meet, and they would both work part-time jobs and kind of help neighbors try to get money. She got married, and her husband was originally from Maryland, and after the marriage, they kind of struggled too. So the family helped him get a job, but it was up in Maryland. However, it was better pay, and he kind of wanted to be closer to his family. So they moved up there, and at the age of 23, and with 2 children, 2 boys actually, she noticed that she started having trouble getting out of bed and doing tasks such as playing with the kids and picking up things. So she went to the doctor, and they quickly diagnosed her with rheumatoid arthritis. She did the best that she could, but the stress of so she tried to find part-time work just to kind of help out here and there. And, she continued to care for her children the best way that she could and be active in their lives. She also continued to work with taking care of her mother-in-law, which she organized and made shifts for her and other family members to take care of. Related to all the stress and the source of income that had dropped, her husband began drinking alcohol, led to both physical and emotional abuse to both her and sometimes the children. And she told her husband that she would not deal with it. And she always mentions this story to me, that he came home drunk one night and he went to hit her, and she stopped him, and she said that the day that me and the boys lose our home will be the day that I file for a divorce, no matter what anyone has to say. So that happened, and she went and met with the bank. Told her that the house would be foreclosed on, and basically no one believed her because this was a different time. But she did file for the divorce, and even though people had a lot of negative things to say and kind of shamed her, she still went through with it. And she would let the boys, still see their father and everything and be active. But she just wanted the best for her and her children. So in her words, she says that the years quickly flew by, and she is now where she is now. But she ended up having 4 boys, and she now has 6 grandkids and 9 great-grandbabies that she says that she enjoys. She honestly says that she enjoys being a grandmother more than she did being a mom, which she just says it to pick on us, but she can enjoy and send them back as she could. About 20 years ago, though, she received her first diagnosis of basal cell cancer, and they also found squamous cell in there as well. And about 5 years ago, she received her first diagnosis of melanoma. It has mostly been on her face and on the top of her head. And approximately 2 years ago, they had found it, and they had determined that it had started to go into her skull. So they removed some parts of the bone there. Not a lot, but just enough to make sure that they had removed all of the cancer. And she just keeps her life and get out and go hiking and walking and enjoy what she can. We actually found out about a week ago that it is back on her face. They believe that it is just the basal cell and nothing too invasive at this point. But she continues to tell us and reassure her family that cancer won't be what beats her, and that just whenever it's her time to go, the good Lord will take her home. And she's very optimistic about it and really stubborn about it. So that's why I always mention how stubborn it is. But I know that with her mindset that she'll continue to enjoy life. And Mrs. L and I, we will just take it day by